Servus und herzlich willkommen zurück hier bei Lamplight City. Wir haben nun den guten Havel Presse befragt, der uns nichts sagen wollte. Aber vielleicht kann uns die gute Abten noch etwas erzählen. Das wäre jetzt natürlich schön. Die haben ihn schließlich aufgegriffen.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly. What's on your mind?
Und zwar der gute Herr hier.
Upton, what do you have on this Harvey Presser fellow?
Give me a moment, and I'll locate the arrest report. Here we are. He was picked up in a bar in Chumley after being identified as the leader of a cooping gang by one of his fellow gang members.
So much for loyalty. Anything else about him?
Not much besides his address.
That might be worth looking into.
It's 5885 Riverview Road, right near the asylum.
Ah, wonderful. Maybe afterwards you can drop by and pick out a room.
Ja, aber ein neuer Hinweis, das ist schön.
I'll let you get back to work.
And you'd better do the same.
Wahlbetrüger, aha, okay. Dann, wo, Pressers Wohnung. Genau, hier schauen wir jetzt sofort mal hin. Ah ja,
Just a moment!
da liegt wer. Atmet aber noch.
Yeah? What do you want?
Ooh, she doesn't look like the type to take any guff. Better watch yourself, Miles.
Ganz genau. Taste Zucker ausleihen. Probieren wir es einmal direkt, aber nicht zu direkt. Also Mann sprechen, aber nichts von Privatdetektiv erwähnen.
Mrs. Presser, I'd like to speak with you about your husband.
Well, he's not here right now. He's been away for a few days, actually. Who are you exactly?
My name's Miles Fordham. I just have a few questions. I promise this won't take long.
All right, come in. But try and keep it down. My daughter isn't feeling well and I don't want her being disturbed.
Alles klar, gut. Dann sind wir leise am besten. Die geht etwas komisch, die Gute.
She doesn't look so good.
Okay. Was haben wir hier?
Some of those modern steam cleaners. If they use them in this place, they clearly aren't worth a damn.
Okay.
Seems to be a notice from the bank threatening to foreclose on this place if they're late on their rent payment again. No wonder Harvey's taken a second job.
Alles klar. Was haben wir hier noch?
It seems peasant soup is on the menu tonight.
Bauernsuppe. Okay. Kann man denen vielleicht helfen? Ich meine, ich würde dem Kind gern helfen. Schauen wir mal.
Mrs. Presser?
Yeah, what?
Ja, einfach mal alles, oder?
You know a man named Ronan Lespay?
Never heard of him.
And you've never seen the man in this ferrotype?
Nope. And I'm glad I haven't. Looks like a real pushover.
Okay, das ist aber ziemlich taffe.
What does your husband do for a living, Mrs. Presser?
Harvey? He's a traveling salesman. Sells steam-powered cleaners like the ones in the corner there.
Oh?
Doesn't make much money on account of most people being afraid of steam tech these days. But Harvey tries his best to provide for me and little Mary. He's a good man. The job takes him out of town for days at a time, but we get by.
And that's all he does?
What are you asking? You know something I don't?
No, not at all. I was just curious.
Oh, look, another husband keeping secrets from his wife. There are a copper a dozen around here, it seems.
Ja, das schaut wohl so aus. Sie sagt, er ist ein guter Mann. Ich bin mir da noch nicht so sicher.
So what do you do while your husband's away?
Hang on there, what are you playing at? I'm a married woman.
I merely wanted to know a bit more about you, that's all. I meant no disrespect.
Is that your game? Asking innocent ladies about themselves so you can
okay.
have your way?
She doesn't have to worry about being mistaken for innocent, that's for sure.
No, you know what? Just forget I said anything.
Okay, weiß nicht, ob das jetzt eine gute Idee ist, noch mal weiter zu fragen. Aber ich würde halt gern alles wissen, ne? Also die ist tough. Oh je, hoffentlich. Weil wenn man eine falsche Frage stellt, manchmal, zack, dead end. Also hofft man mal nicht, dass die jetzt noch saurer wird, als sie eh schon ist.
Is your daughter all right?
She's just come down with a bit of something. This stew I'm making will put her right again. I've been giving her regular doses of Pink Bladder's Miracle Tonic, too. I'm sure she'll be back to tearing the house down again in a matter of days. Ticks after her father, that one.
Hoffentlich.
Are you pleased with the election results?
Yeah, I'm glad that no-good High Muckamuck Outwood was voted out. Maybe now they can finally get to work on that bridge to Gascone we've been promised for so long.
But won't Leroy's opposition to steam tech be bad for your husband's business?
Maybe, but Harvey's always managed to land on his feet. If it comes down to it, I'm sure he'll be able to find a new job in no time. I was never too keen on him selling those contraptions anyway. It'll be a relief to get them out of the house.
I don't have any more questions for you, Mrs. Presser.
Good.
Okay. Oh,
Presumably that goes into the Presser's bedroom. Or it might be a closet. Or both.
Okay, dann gehen wir mal und hoffen einfach mal, dass dem Kind besser geht. Und ich möchte dieser Frau eigentlich nicht nochmal unter die Augen treten. Aber ich glaube, wir haben Redebedarf mit dem guten Herrn Presser. Würde ich mal sagen, oder? Ah ja, jetzt können wir wieder mit ihm reden.
A few more questions for you, Mr. Presser.
Whatever you say.
I had a little chat with your wife. You have a lovely family.
Mildred? How did you...
I may not be with the police anymore, but that doesn't mean I can't still get the information I need.
You didn't tell her about me being in jail, did you?
Don't worry. It was quite obvious your wife has no idea what you're involved in. As a man who values discretion, I thought it best not to shatter her illusions.
That's awfully decent of you.
Of course, I might change my mind, unless you start to cooperate.
Oh yeah,
I have to
jetzt
say,
aber.
Miles, you've become a real natural at this tough cop role.
All right, fine. I'll talk. Just leave my family out of it.
Na gut, dann. Jetzt aber. Tacheles hier.
Do you recognize the man in this ferrotype?
Yes, I do. That's Mr. Lespay.
And how is it you know him?
I was assigned to watch him and then pick him up on election night.
Assigned? By whom?
My employer. I'd really rather not name names, Mr. Fordham.
I don't care about your employer. What I care about is what you were doing with Mr. Lespay.
Well, it was a cooping scheme. He was one of the people I was told to pick up.
Aha.
Tell me more about this cooping scheme.
I got paid to find men to vote for Atwood. Simple, really. Once I found a good mark, I followed him a bit, knocked him out, then took him to the coop, a little room I rented near the Raven. I had about 5 men on election night, including Lespay. Got them all liquored up and walked them over to the polls. Once each of them voted, we'd walk back over to the coop. I'd change their clothes, maybe give them a fake beard, and walk back for another vote.
Okay.
Did it for myself, too, so people would be less likely to notice. Kept it up for a few hours, until the murder.
Aha. Da erfahren wir also auch mehr.
Tell me what you know about the murder outside the Silent Raven.
The most important thing I can tell you is that I didn't kill him.
Do you know who did?
Not a clue. I was inside the bar when I heard the gunshot. I went outside to see what had happened and found Lespay on the sidewalk.
And what happened next?
What do you think? I panicked. He was in my care. I wasn't expecting anyone to get killed.
I think Mr. Presser has a wildly different definition of the word care.
Ja.
I went inside and gave the barmaid 10 crowns to keep her mouth shut. Clearly, that was money misspent. Then I went back home, told my wife I was going away on a business trip for a few days, just in case. Good thing I did, too. I might get out of this with her none the wiser.
What makes you so sure they'll let you out?
Me, I'm just a small fish, but I could talk and talk about whales. That's valuable information.
Quite the shrewd negotiator, this one. I think his skills have been wasted.
Alles klar.
Is this your first time in jail?
Yeah, actually. Suppose you think I'm just some criminal scum, born for the gibbet? I'm not a bad man, Mr. Fordham. I just made some mistakes. You've met my family. I'd do anything for them. Anything.
I suppose no good deed goes unpunished.
You can say that again.
That's all the questions I have for now.
Good. Leave me in peace.
Ey, wieso so grantig? Wir haben dir gerade einen sehr großen Gefallen getan. Okay. Wir wissen, dass er es nicht war. Wir wissen jetzt aber immer noch nicht, was eigentlich passiert ist. Von ihr erfahren wir auch nichts, oder?
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Certainly.
Nein.
I'll let you get...
And
Also wir wissen jetzt, dass es nicht war. Okay, gut. Das heißt, wir erfahren aber einfach nicht mehr.
What a mess.
Oh, Hammer. Moment. Wieso? Das ist neu. Das ist definitiv neu.
Yesterday's rain has made the water level rise significantly. Is it just me, or does it look like there's something resting at the bottom of the drain?
If there is, I have no way of getting to it through the drain cover.
Okay.
Securely fastened, unfortunately for you. If only there was some way to undo these bolts and remove the drain cover. Yesterday's rain has made the... Is it...
If there is...
Okay, das ist neu. Entweder habe ich das die ganze Zeit übersehen. Inspektor Zufall ist wieder unterwegs. Grandios. Wir kommen da nicht rein. Aber das ist Abfluss und wir wissen jemanden oder wir kennen jemanden, der mit Abflüssen zu tun hat. Genau, hier. Vielleicht kann uns der gute Herr hier weiterhelfen. Der von sich in der dritten Person redet.
Moment of your time, if I may.
Right, I'll make it quick.
Ja, sehr schön.
Would you be able to remove the cover of a storm drain?
Yes, of course, sir. Cormac's got the right tool for the job. Just a few twists from old Mary here, and any drain will open up like a Christmas rose.
Excellent. Would you be able to open the storm drain outside the Silent Raven?
Suppose so, yes. But Cormac ain't allowed to just open up drains as he sees fit. What do you want this drain open for?
Ja, wie wär's damit?
I believe there's a vital piece of evidence at the bottom of the drain.
You don't say.
It's quite true. It may even help me solve a murder.
Well then, in that case, Cormac will get the drain open for you. Come on, there's not a moment to lose.
Dass das jetzt so einfach geht, hätte ich
Is
nicht
it
gedacht.
then?
That's the one.
Right, won't be a moment.
Das hätte ich jetzt nicht gedacht.
There we are.
Thank you for your help, Cormac.
Not a problem. Now, if you don't mind, Cormac's just going to pop inside for a quick pint.
Ja, mach mal. Mach mal. Ist cool. Oh yeah, cool. Wie Sie sehen, sehen Sie nichts.
Detective work is a dirty job, but someone has to do it. Don't forget to roll up your sleeve.
I really hope there's something down there.
Uah.
Ugh. This is almost as bad as the time I had to search for that stolen necklace in a pile of horse manure.
I'm really glad I didn't draw the short straw in that case.
Oh yeah.
Well, how about that?
A shame the police managed to overlook this.
Haha. Und jetzt wissen wir auch, wen wir damit behelligen. Und zwar unseren guten, skurrilen Freund, den Leichenfledderer. So. Schauen wir mal. Das sehen wir schon. Mein Freund, guter Doktor, hier wären wir.
Pardon me, Edwards.
Yes?
Wir haben was für dich.
I found this pistol at the scene of the Lespay crime. Could you take a look and see if it was used to murder him?
It's all slimy. Where was it?
Sitting at the bottom of a storm drain.
Oh, I suppose that's not as exciting as finding it inside someone's intestines. Did I ever tell you about that post-mortem, by the way?
No, I certainly don't want to hear about it now. How long will it take you to analyze that pistol?
I should have something conclusive within the hour, if you don't mind waiting.
No, it'll give me some time to gather my thoughts.
Right. I've concluded my analysis, and this gun was definitely used to shoot Mr. Lespay.
Okay.
The bullet I removed from his body is a perfect match.
Okay.
Thank you, Edwards. That is extremely helpful.
There's one more thing. I cleaned off some of the muck and found the initials JB etched into the handle.
Interesting.
My expertise with guns is purely forensic, so I can't determine if this is the gun's maker or the initials of its owner. That's going to have to be your job.
Thank you, Edwards. Your help is always appreciated. I'll be going now, Edwards.
Take care, Fordham.
Miles, have you ever noticed that this Jimbo fellow fits the description of the man loitering outside the taxidermy shop? The barmaid told us she saw someone matching that description at the Raven on election night. Not only that, Priscilla just so happens to be the name of the ship Jimbo works on. And the pistol used to murder Ronan has the initials JB etched on it. It could be a coincidence, but I think it's quite reasonable to consider him as a suspect.
Das ist allerdings wahr. Die Frage ist, warum wir da so draufgestoßen werden. ob das wohl das Richtige ist. Gut, aber jetzt werden wir erstmal mit dem guten Jimbo reden.
He won't have anything relevant to tell us right now.
Wieso nicht? JB. Also mit ihm kann man gar nicht drüber reden, das ist ja lustig. Wen haben wir denn dann noch? JB. Ned. B. Also B wird passen. Priscilla. Aber das... Ja, der arbeitet auf dem Schiff, aber... Kann man noch einmal mit ihm reden. Hoffentlich bauen wir keinen Blödsinn. Ich speichere mal lieber. So, sprechen wir noch mal mit ihm.
Could I ask you a few more questions, Mr. Bunkeridge?
All right, but try not to take too long. Don't want to drop my heart rate too much.
Ja, da können wir nur Toms Adresse, aber die gibt er uns ja nicht, weil dann ist er wieder angefressen. Aber wir haben vorher gespeichert, also no risk, no fun.
About your uncle's address?
What about it? Why do you want it?
I have reason to believe he may be somehow involved in a murder.
That's a serious accusation, Mr. Fordham. What proof do you have?
Nothing concrete just yet, which is
Oh,
why
fuck.
I'd like to investigate his home.
Well, you're not the police, so I'm not obligated to tell you. I'm sorry, but you'll need more than just a suspicion to convince me.
On second thought, never mind.
Okay, wir haben die
Thanks for your
Option noch.
time.
Not a problem.
Wir haben die Option noch, also haben wir nichts vergeigt. Und da ist irgendwas, da ist noch mehr. Können wir von ihm?
Leave him be.
Nö. Nö. Okay, da ist einmal nichts mehr. Wenn wir schon sagen, der könnte in einen Mord verwickelt sein, dann wird da wohl noch mehr sein, oder? Da gibt es keine Option mehr.
He won't be much more help.
Nein, auch nicht. Ah, er ist jetzt hier, okay. Vielleicht.
Let's not stick around. She...
Okay, auch nicht.
I don't think he'll be...
Auch nicht.
Have you got time?
Yes.
Fall abschließen.
Those are all the questions I have.
All right.
Ich glaube nicht, dass es der Jimbo war. Oder schon? Gibt's hier vielleicht noch irgendwas, was wir übersehen haben?
October 21st, I don't think this entry will be of much interest.
Oh, this tea... A model of the SS Joondalup.
Auch nichts.
This one is scarier. This mask looks African.
Das haben wir schon alles gelesen.
It's in another...
Wir wissen, dass der stark opiumabhängig ist und wir haben ja schon vom guten Doktor erfahren. Oder haben wir das wieder nicht erfahren? Weil wir es beim Replayen vergessen haben.
I don't think the assorted lab equipment. It's important to keep your hands clean. I wonder if
Nein, hier ist einfach nichts mehr.
seems to be empty.
Haben wir noch was zu plaudern?
Can we talk for a...
Certainly.
That was...
That it was.
I can't say I...
Yes.
Ja, das
Fordham,
haben wir auch
since when
schon.
have politics...
I'm guessing...
I have to So when you figure it out, I can still try and help you if they...
I'll let you get back to...
And...
Ja, nein. Vielleicht sagt er noch was.
No point.
Wir haben eine Waffe mit JB gefunden. Ah, und das ist übrigens weg. Okay. Eine Waffe mit JB. Wir können eigentlich nur hierher gehen. Tja, aber ich würde mal sagen... Nein, ich würde nicht sagen, die Episode ist aus, sondern ich möchte das jetzt hier noch lösen. Denn hier gibt es noch irgendwas. Und ich werde es sicher nicht aufhören, bevor ich es gefunden habe. Und wir haben irgendwas hier zu machen.
Oh, look, maybe you can slip these on and go a couple of rounds with Ned. If that's his best right hook, he'll be a pushover. And after that expert knockout you delivered Officer Grant, he won't stand a chance.
Ja, ist schon gut. Im Regal. Was haben wir hier? Alles klar. Mein liebster Ned, ich war so froh, als ich deinen letzten Brief bekam. Es läuft ja ganz gut. Ich fange im Laufe der nächsten Woche mit meinem nächsten Kurs an. Wie läuft es bei dir? Hast du das mit dieser Sporthalle hinbekommen, von der du gesprochen hast? Du musst mir eine Ferrotypie schicken, die deine neue Figur zeigt. Ah. Okay.
Wait just a minute. Something's off here. The handwriting in this letter is different to the one we found before. There's something strange going on with this Priscilla.
Echt?
This seems to be where Ned keeps his
Okay, können wir da jetzt noch einmal mit ihm reden?
Could I ask you a few more questions, Mr. Bunkeridge?
All right, but try not...
Ja, ist schon gut. Können wir... Ja, wir haben ja nichts, warum wir es wollen, oder?
About your uncle's address?
What about it? Why do you want it?
Jetzt haben wir da eine neue Option. Ja, aber hallo.
I think there's something going on between him and Priscilla.
Something going on? What do you mean?
I found a letter addressed to you from her at the cathedral, and the handwriting is different to the letter you have here.
He has one of her letters? Why would he?
I'm not sure, which is why I'd like to search his home and find out more.
If he's going behind my back, I swear I'll...
Calm yourself, Mr. Bunkeridge. If I find anything, you'll be the first to know.
All right. Tom lives at 117 Gimlet Terrace in Worcester.
Hey, we're practically neighbors.
Here, I've got a spare key. If you find anything about him and Priscilla, you'll tell me, won't you?
Of course. Thank you, Mr. Bunkeridge. Thanks for your time.
Not a problem.
Okidoki. Zufall. Puffins Wohnung. Das ist ein komisches. Aha.
Nice place. Tidy. Nothing incriminating that I can see.
People rarely leave anything incriminating out in the open. It's time to have a look around.
Definitiv. Da werden wir uns jetzt noch umsehen.
Puffin's Daily Planner. The man leads an even more boring life than you. Who knew that was even possible?
Okay.
Huh. I was wondering when he was going to show up.
Kratzer. Okay.
A statue of Eros, I believe? God of love or lust or something. Man babies in diapers never did much for me.
Ja, okay. Aber wieso sind da Kratzer?
That's odd. There are some scratches on the floor next to that statue.
Aha.
How about that? Looks like we found Singing Tom's buried treasure.
Was haben wir da jetzt?
Let's just see what we have here.
Liebste Priscilla, meine Pläne sind fertig geschmiedet und ich werde dich bald in Cormorant besuchen. Bitte denk daran, dass das Leben in New Bretagne sehr hart ist. Ich sehe deshalb möglicherweise stärker gealtert aus, als du es erwarten würdest, Ned. Aha.
Interesting stuff, but what about the box itself?
Oh.
It seems Puffin's gun has gone missing. He should really take better care of his things. Jenkins and Bowen. The name shares the initials that were on the murder weapon. That's quite a coincidence, wouldn't you say?
I would if I believed in coincidences.
Things are starting to fall into place here, Miles. Between the letters, the missing gun, and what Edwards told us about the effects of opium,
Ja.
I think we have enough evidence to consider Puffin a suspect.
It's empty. It's empty.
Okay. Das halte ich für sehr wahrscheinlich. Entschuldigung, Moment mal. Ich glaube, das ist die Lösung. Ich glaube nämlich nicht, dass Jimbo was damit zu tun hat. Da passt nämlich die Waffe. Das brauchen wir gar nicht überlegen. Die Frage ist jetzt, sagen wir ihm das? Oder sagen wir ihr, nein, Blödsinn, zu ihr haben wir zu gehen. Schauen wir mal. Aber vorher Opium speichern wir mal. So, jetzt.
He hasn't got it.
Alles klar. Dann gehen wir zurück zur Mrs. Morgan, weil die gute Abten hat uns ja gesagt, dass wir zu ihr gehen sollen. Und schließen den Fall ab.
Have you got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
I've completed my investigation of your brother's murder, Mrs. Morgan.
You have? Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Who killed him?
Tom Puffin.
It was Tom Puffin, choir master at St. Denis Cathedral.
What? But why would a member of the church do something like that?
Puffin is in love with his nephew Ned's fiancée, Priscilla. He's even gone so far as to intercept their letters and write to each of them under false pretenses. Mr. Puffin is also an avid opium user and is prone to fits of rage as well as hallucinations. The evening of the murder, Puffin was at the Silent Raven, and in his opium-induced fog, mistook your brother for Ned. He had his pistol on him, and his rage and jealousy got the better of him. Poor Ronan was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And what about the clothes he was wearing? Or why he was in Chumley in the first place?
I'm afraid your brother fell victim to a cooping gang. They dragged him to Chumley and forced him to vote multiple times. He was wearing someone else's clothes as part of a disguise.
My poor brother. So what happens now?
Now I'll inform Miss Upton of my findings, and she'll send an officer along to arrest Mr. Bogroff. From there, justice will be served accordingly.
I see. Thank you for your help, Mr. Fordham.
Mr. Wem? Na schon eher. All right.
Tom Puffin?
Yes, may I help you, officer?
You're under arrest for the murder of Ronan Lespay.
What? Oh, God. So it wasn't a dream.
Come along, sir. We need to question you at the station.
Okay. Der hat's also gewusst.
You know, Miles, you've been coming in here a lot lately, but you've never looked quite this glum. What's going on?
I've bungled things pretty badly at home. Been staying with a friend the past couple of weeks.
I see. What happened?
I haven't been honest with my wife. Coming here and drowning my sorrows hasn't really helped, oddly enough. And yet, it's all I can do to keep from going crazy.
You know, Miles, I've seen and heard a lot of things over the years. Some of the stories would turn your hair white. But through it all, I've come to learn one thing. It's usually not too late to make things better, but only if you let yourself try.
Thank you for the advice, Patrick.
All I can do is give it, Miles. Whether you choose to take it or not is entirely up to you. Now, Would you like another gin?
Nein!
No, thank you. This time I really do need to be on my way.
Oh yeah. Genau, und jetzt gehen wir zu Adelaide und sagen ihr verdammt nochmal endlich die Wahrheit.
I should go and see how my wife is doing.
I see. Well, have a good night, Miles.
Was war
And
das?
good luck to you.
Was war das jetzt? I see. Was geht mit ihm?
Who in the ether? Miles? This is a surprise.
Ich vergebe dir, ja, genau so macht man das jetzt bitte. Nein, wir sind ehrlich und sagen jetzt bitte mal alles.
Addie, it's so good to see you. I've been such an idiot lately.
Well, I'm glad you can admit to it. Would you like to come in?
Very much.
Ganz förmlich.
Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Genau, Wahrheit sagen.
I've given it a lot of thought, and I think it's time I finally told you the truth.
Miles, what are you doing? You know this is a terrible idea.
The truth?
About why I've been acting the way I have been since Bill died.
Well, go on. I'm listening.
Don't do it, Miles. You know it's a one-way ticket to Riverview if you do.
Okay, jetzt bin ich mir schon wieder nicht mehr so sicher. Wir können aber auch nicht speichern. Ha, na okay. Wir sind ehrlich.
I've been hearing Bill's voice ever since he died.
Fordham, what is wrong with you?
His voice?
I can't believe this! You've just destroyed your life! I hope you realize that!
Yes, in my head, at all hours. That's why I was taking the soporific. It was the only way to keep him quiet. Or so I thought. Turns out that alcohol has the same effect.
What does he say to you?
The type of things he'd say when he was alive. Snarky comments, inappropriate jokes. Mainly he nags me to find the flower shop burglar. He thinks doing that will let him find peace and move on.
I see.
I told you you'd never believe me.
Don't be ridiculous, Miles. It's nothing like that. It's just, I wish you had told me sooner is all.
I know, but I was afraid.
Well, I'm glad you finally trusted me. You know, you could have all along.
So, you're all right with it?
It is quite a lot to take in. I think I'll need some time to mull it over. But what matters now is that we can work through this together.
Oh yeah, endlich.
I understand. Well, I should probably go. It was lovely to see you again, Addie.
Lovely to see you too, Miles.
Perhaps I'll stop by again next week?
Or sooner, if you'd like.
Sure. Like the men in white coats aren't gonna have you taken away by then.
Right. I'll see myself out then.
Good night, Miles.
Okay, ich glaube, das war der richtige Schritt. Und das hätten wir von Anfang an tun sollen, wenn uns das Spiel gelassen hätte. Das wird eine mächtig lange Episode.
Fordham, wake up.
He just leapt over the side. Oh, Upton. What's going on?
Goodness, Fordham. You look terrible. Is everything all right?
Just had some trouble sleeping. More than usual.
Well, I hope you've rested enough, because I've got something very important to show you.
Oh, wonderful. If we're sharing information now, are you gonna tell Upton about me as well?
What is it?
There's been a murder.
Okay. Was ist daran ungewöhnlich?
I assume this one is special somehow, or you wouldn't be bringing it to me.
I thought that great detectives never assumed.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Anyway, you're right. The victim in question is a member of Parliament, a man named Percival McDonough, to be precise. But this is the real corker. The murder is clearly the work of the Justice Killer.
Aha, ist das jetzt der?
The Justice Killer? Is that the mass murderer I've been hearing about?
The very same.
Why Justice Killer, though?
It's part of his modus operandi. He kills his victims with a single gunshot to the head, then writes the word justice somewhere in the room with the victim's blood.
Talk about melodramatic.
The police are stumped. This is the killer's 5th victim, and there isn't a single lead.
So you want me to investigate?
not just yet. First, I need you to look at these sketches.
You took crime scene sketches from the department?
Of course not. I made copies with the station's Pharaoh duplicator. These killings need to stop, and I believe you can succeed where the department has so far failed.
So, what am I looking for?
The police went over each crime scene with a fine-toothed comb and turned up practically no useful physical evidence. I want a second opinion from you. If you can find some sort of link between them, it might be possible to track this monster down.
All right, let's see what we can see. Maybe there's something that Snelling's finest overlooked.
Here are the 4 sketches. Have a look at them and see if you notice anything that might help us find this maniac.
Alles klar, liebe Leute, aber das werden wir jetzt definitiv erst in der nächsten Episode machen. Vielen, vielen Dank fürs Zusehen. Es geht dann weiter mit dem 5. Fall. Wir sehen uns wieder. Servus und bis bald.